Depths of my soul, feeling the loss of control in a spirit so colorful. Easy feeling, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Rise, rise, keep on rising, rise, rise,
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the Toon Review, where tonight it is, of course, Fan Forum night. Realise that England are playing and are 1-0 up, very a minute to go in the first half, but hey, it's an England friendly. Who cares? Well, Alex cares. Alex definitely cares as a patron. But listen, some interesting stuff to talk to go through tonight about Newcastle United. Obviously, the Isaac Hayden fine, which I find absolutely astounding. Of £19,000, and he has also been warned about his future conduct. Crazy. No doubt we'll be celebrating Canada's appearance in the World Cup with Ryan. He's in the green room ready to gloat, I'm sure. And yeah, we're looking forward to obviously the game at the weekend where we go to Tottenham, which you can obviously get live commentary on this very, 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 very important YouTube channel, and as well as watch the game on Sky. Just knock the sound off. Who wants to listen to Tyler when they could listen to me or whoever's going to be commentating on there? We've got 3 in the green room. If you do want to come on the show tonight, as usual, the link is pinned at the top of the live comments. Get yourself on. People are probably waiting until half-time in the England game, which I believe is now. So get yourselves on. It's only the Ivory Coast dinner friendly, guys. Bigger fish to fry when we're talking about Newcastle United. Anyway, let's get some of what you're going to say, Alex.
No, we just scored, so I'm happy.
Well,
Trying to be quiet.
I thought they were showing the replay of the first goal. All right, okay. Raheem, was it?
I believe so.
All right, it's 2-0 against the Ivory Coast, guys. How are you? Know, let's talk about the important stuff, which is Newcastle United. Anyway, Ryan, the Mafia boss, and Jason. Good evening, chaps.
Evening.
How are you doing?
Not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Paul, have we got a stable broadband tonight that we might keep you on tonight?
Yeah, apart from my wife's got COVID.
Oh. Well, actually, my kids are ill, so
Yeah.
I'm not even testing them, to be honest. If they've got the flu, simple as that. Ryan, we may as well start with the congratulations to Canada on making the World Cup. I mean, it is, Canada's appearance in the World Cup comes around very, very sparsely, but you've made it. And your mic's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I
it is.
just want to say thank you guys for giving us John Herdman from the Northeast, because I'd run through a brick wall for that manager, man. Like he's committed so much to this country. I'm so glad we're over the line and we got quality players coming through, man. And it's a bright time to be a Canadian.
He's from Consett, which is literally 4 miles from where I live. His hometown is very close. King of Qatar, good evening.
Oh, how you doing, lads?
We're all right. Well, just come in late, mate. It's fine. No worries.
One thing I'll add too is
no,
that I'm glad that
it's,
like I was honestly so doubtful. I've never seen us qualify for World Cup my whole life, and you know what? I was like, there's a bit of brightness when I saw Alphonso Davies go to Bayern Munich. I can't lie. I was like, we could try to go for something here.
Mhm.
But by the time we got to like the final eight, I thought, you know what? We got some good players here too, like Tajon Buchanan, Jonathan David, Tiba Hutchinson, a veteran in our country, and we've done it, man. And we've done it in style too.
Yeah, you did.
Ryan,
And you
haven't
qualified
you
before
won
the
a bid
Americans.
for to host it with the USA? Is that not a thing, or am I imagining that?
No, it's 2026, but
Yes,
there's
you get. I think you get to qualify for that automatically anyway, don't you? So it would have happened later.
yeah, exactly.
Is Alex? Is that you trying to just say, "How are you, Ryan? Just shut up, man. It's once in the blue moon. It's
Well,
a World
it means
Cup."
you get to see him in 2 tournaments, so they can build a project, can't they? For the next, they can build up 2 cycles instead of just like 1 tournament. So they
I guess so.
they
Yeah.
could push for
We
something.
would have
It's good for their
qualified
team.
anyways, because the CONCACAF's pretty pony in my opinion. The teams are so bad.
Yeah. Tom says, evening, everyone. Thoughts of the burning NUFC issue? Adam getting kicked out of the under-23 games last night. I sympathise, but he needs to talk to the club to find out what he can and can't do. I agree with that. I'm not sure. To be honest, it was all a bit of a sham, really. I mean, Adam gets escorted out of the ground, yet other people seem to be filming it. So where do you draw a line? I mean, it's crazy. And Adam's done that for months and months now, where he's been doing Newcastle United stuff at the ground. I agree. Maybe he needs to check out with the club and see what he can and can't do, because obviously he had that the photographer problem a few months ago. But look, he's doing what he loves doing, and I can't see a problem with it being if it was a Premier League game, yes, there's certain rules, but this is under 23.
I've done it loads of times.
I know,
I've done it loads of times and never ever been right out. Done it in front of the stewards. I've never said a thing.
But why not? It's putting the under-23s on the map. It's giving them a platform. And like Adam says, a lot of the under-23 players do watch the vlogs because they like to see what happened. If they've scored in the game, they'll like to go back and watch Adam's vlog and say, yeah, that was me scoring that goal. I don't quite get it. But, if Newcastle United need to come out now and say, right, this is the rules, and this is the rules for the senior team, the under-23s, the ladies team, whatever it may be, whoever's playing inside St. James's Park, you're not allowed to film the game. Or you can. This is what you're allowed to do. The rules need to be more specific and available to everybody, really, because we're not getting. I'm sure we'll get to find out from the club in due course. But it was a bit of a shame, to be honest, and especially when they came back as well as they did to win the game, 2-0 down at one stage, come back to win 4-3. Munoz scores his first goal for the club. And all that could have been on a vlog, which everybody could have seen. I'm sure everybody would have been interested to see. But hey ho, I hope he does sort it out with the club and find out what, and for everybody else, really, what we can and can't do. Gary says, evening, Paul, evening, everyone. Any news on Shah and his injury? I'm expecting Shelvey and Maxi to start against Spurs. Thoughts on whether Bruno should start? Ryan, Bruno, should he start?
100%. I don't see why, to be honest. What the hell's wrong with my voice? Okay.
It's the COVID.
No. No, there's no reason why not to start. Like, this whole thing about jet lag, too, if you want to mention that, I don't think so, because all the CONMEBOL games are being played tonight. Yeah. And ever since Shelvey was out, I said, yeah, like, this guy needs to start all the time. There's no reason for him not to start. Like, we're playing against Tottenham, who we could say they aren't having the greatest season in the world, but they're still like a few levels above us in terms of quality. Let's not deny that. So we need our best players to combat that, I guess.
Yeah. Right, what do you think? I mean, he's going to have players back from injury. So, what does he play? What kind of formation does he play? More to the point.
I'm not sure if he's going to be if he's going to have fatigue or is he going to be physically ready? Because they're playing in a couple of hours. Our game's on Sunday. If it flies straight away after the game, then
Yeah.
maybe. But I saw Son playing today against UAE. Korea got beat. So
Did they really?
Yeah, they lost
Right.
against UAE. He was absolutely rubbish, but he's probably going to turn up against Newcastle.
Oh no.
He always
Harry
does.
Kane's not playing at the moment. It's a friendly. So I would play the best. I would play Bruno. If anyway, I don't think Bruno starts most of the Brazil games. So
he's more of a sub, isn't he?
yeah,
At
last
the
15,
minute he
20
is
minutes.
anyway.
So it's just to be being jet lagged or not. Mostly.
Yeah. Roy will not ask you about Chris Wood because I'm sure Jason was absolutely disgusted with the picture that you posted. You know, being one of Chris Wood's biggest fans is Jason, and I'm sure he's absolutely over the moon with that picture. Good evening, Jace. Were you proud of Roy's achievements in getting that photo with Chris Wood?
Oh yeah, I was absolutely. I mean, I printed off loads of copies, and it made some perfect fire fuel there. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, why did you have to pick him of all people?
I'm going to see him again tomorrow as well.
Oh,
so it's they play the Solomon Islands tomorrow. It's the final. So if they win that game,
Solomon Islands. Where are the Solomon Islands? Where are they, by the way? Is that like a little rock near Australia or something?
It's one of those islands in Pacific. So actually, the football wasn't that bad because the rest of the teams are rubbish. But those two, New Zealand and Solomon Island, they seemed a bit higher level.
Oh,
and
Roy,
New Zealand actually scraped it against Tahiti 1-0.
I mean, New Zealand aren't historically that bad. When Spain won the World Cup, they were undefeated as well. They drew every group game and got knocked out. So they were technically undefeated, and Spain did lose a game. So
they actually drew 3 games in 2010. They got knocked out of the World Cup without getting beat.
Yeah.
3 draws.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that cup.
Oh yeah, that's Spain. Oh yeah.
These are the conversations we have.
Jesus Christ! Slap me in the face with bull's testicles, will you? Honest to God, I'm like Jesus.
But they'll be playing Costa Rica.
Rowan, good evening.
Good evening, lads.
How are you doing?
I'm all right, yeah.
Just before you came on there, we're just discussing obviously whether Bruno will start at the weekend with him playing for Brazil tonight. Or do you think he'll go back to Shelvey, Willock and Big Joe?
It'd be harsh dropping Bruno after, because I thought against Everton, it was like, second half, he wasn't really much, but in the first half, I thought he was one of their players. I mean, there wasn't that many good players against Everton, let's be fair. And against Chelsea, he ran his absolute nuts off with Longstaff in midfield. And obviously, before that is the game against Southampton where he scored a goal. So I think if you follow Eddie Howe's thing of like not dropping players that are playing well, you can't. And if you look at the Everton game, which one of the midfielders didn't play well? I mean, I didn't think Joe Linton was that good, but to be fair, he looked like he was still struggling a bit with injury.
Definitely.
And I thought Willock was, if you were to drop any of them 3 for the next game, it'd probably be Willock. And I'm not having a go at Willock. It was just he didn't have a good game, that's all.
Fair enough. Now, Caitlin and Nick have just sent this in. Just seen an article about NUFC wanting Mancini to replace Eddie Howe. We wouldn't want him. We love Eddie Howe. Also, Mancini couldn't even get Italy to a World Cup. Why would we want that over Eddie Howe? Alex, it's not even a conversation, is it? I mean, Eddie Howe is our manager.
Yeah, I mean, not with how successful it's going. You know, with the interview before he got the job. The plan. I mean, there's some details coming out now about the interview, and how clever it was. He was explaining how he could get more out of certain players, and there was such detail in the interview, and he's proving it on the pitch and with the performances of the team and the backroom staff, and it's all going right at the moment. It doesn't make sense to be the fact that there's speculation around management when we're doing this well is bizarre. Yeah. Obviously, it comes with the territory. We're probably going to have this, as a lot of the bigger clubs do who are challenging for trophies. We're going to have to start getting used to this. Even if we're doing well, there's going to be speculation around management. which is weird for us, but it's probably going to be the new
The norm.
normal. So, yeah.
I mean, Ryan, what's your thoughts? I mean, does it annoy you? Does it annoy you when you hear
Yeah.
about other managers being linked to the job when Eddie's doing such a good one in the first place?
Well, it's just journalists having no idea what to write. And it's also a bad thing because we all know some people, they actually believe into this crap. And it just like, it changes kind of like how our fans feel. And like, they just look into everything instead of like taking a step back and like actually reading into stuff and making a concrete like decision and see if it's good enough or not. Like, it's like what Alex said, like it definitely is the new norm. And like, it's something, guys, that's just, you see the article, don't even click on it. If it's a tweet, just click on the tweet, but look and see, scroll down and see the summaries, because you don't want to give any of these fraud journalists any of your time clicking their articles.
Well, people don't. This is the reason why they're angry with us, because people are like the Toon Review with their members and the Athletic, and people are happy to spend their money in places that care, and these journalists are not getting their papers bought anymore, and they don't like it, so they're writing anything and everything.
It's all about clickbait, man. It's just like it's just like ESPN and like Sky Sports with their videos too. Like they want big titles, so you click on their videos for views and traction. Like sometimes you just gotta go a bit backwards and like figure out if it's good or not to look into this stuff.
Yeah. Christopher says, so Hayden gets fined, but the refs and officials get let off the hook as usual. Must be nice being shit at your job, knowing that any mistake you make won't be punished. The whole thing is laughable. Paul, what's your take on it? Because obviously, you know, I mean, I spoke about this in my show, in my video earlier on, just like how the referees never seem accountable. Managers have to come out straight after they've had the team talk, and managers have to explain their decisions through a game, literally straight after the match. So do players. So why is it that referees don't come out and are forced to be put in front of the camera and say, right, what logic was behind that decision, or why did you not review or send that to VAR? Put them on the spot, like the managers and players have to be.
They won't answer to anything. You know, they basically can do what they want, and they'll not get wrong. They won't get fines. They won't get demoted. It's all corruption. That's what I think. It's all corruption.
Just straightforward corruption. I mean, Jason, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's just like everyone else's faults. Why don't you get the managers get their interviews after a match? You get the players have their interviews after a match. Why don't we get refs have interviews after the match? Why are they being protected so much? They know that they do wrong. Everyone sees that they do wrong. Why can't they answer questions from the journalists about do they think they've made the wrong decision? Have they actually checked it? Did they hear anything from VAR to say that they need to check it? Why are they not overturning this? They need to answer for themselves as well. They can't just keep. I mean, Hayden, he's actually come out with the truth, yet they're fining him. So you've just got to lie out just to not be dealt with a fine or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Ken says, one for the forum to discuss. I've watched the documentary about the Big Six signing up for the Super League. The absolute greedy, ignorant bastards. They should never, ever be allowed to say anything against us. In my opinion, all six should have been relegated to the Championship. What does the forum think? Roy, what's your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't go that far, relegate them, but they should fine them and maybe point deduction, but something like 10 points or something. We can't just go and relegate the whole lot, because okay, we'll end up seeing teams like Wolves top of the league, and I know we'll be in the 7th or playing Champions League, but everyone it's a loss if that happens. So a fine and point deduction.
Should redistribute the prize money, an equal cut of the pie from first place to 20th place. That'd shut them up very quickly.
Yeah, that would work as well.
I'd say do what they did to Rangers and just knock them straight down to the bottom of the leagues.
Well, that was a financial thing, wasn't it? That wasn't a.
Yeah, so
that wasn't
it was a financial thing, but the Super League was just a complete bastard thing, to be honest. It was to screw over every other club in the UK, destroy English football, which I think is worse than what Rangers were relegated for, to be fair. The financial irregularities. I'm with Jason. I would have thrown the book at them. And yeah, it's unfortunate for the supporters, but listen, they support their that team. You know, like the Rangers fans, they had to just keep supporting them, and they came back up again, which they would inevitably do. But I just think with this new Champions League format as well,
that's been suggested, may I add, by the chairman of PSG.
Exactly.
Which is
why I think they're trying to sneak the Super League back into things, which stinks. It stinks, and it looks after the big teams
Top
again.
Teams. Yeah.
Rohan, your thoughts on that?
Well, one of the biggest issues I saw after the Super League collapse was the fact that the Big Six, well, I say Big Six because they're not the biggest six. We're bigger.
No, they're not.
At least three.
They like to think they are.
We're bigger than three of them. But aside of that, the fact that they were able to negotiate their own punishment, which ended up being, what was it, a measly £3 million.
Yeah.
For a start, you're trying to rid clubs would have probably lost over £100 million a season if they had left. So
yeah.
I think Roy said about not getting relegated to the Championship. I think, to be honest, like, they tried to run away with everything. I even saw fans from their own clubs, like Man United and stuff, saying, I think we should be relegated for doing this. And the fact that they came back, tails behind the back, and they barely got fined, it just stinks.
What didn't help? Somebody going into court, isn't it, and saying, right, you've murdered this person. What would you like your sentence to be? Oh, I'll do 2 years, please. Yeah, no problem. There you go. You'll do your 2 years. It stinks.
It doesn't make sense, though. It doesn't make sense. It's monetarily in the Champions League, the most interesting Champions League runs have been like Ajax, that team that got really far, and Monaco when Mbappe was still there, and Malaga when they got to the semi-finals. This is what makes people tune in and watch the Champions League. So if they reformat it to favour the elite, we're not going to get those underdog stories. So surely that's going to hurt viewerships, which hurts the TV companies. I don't understand how this works from a business perspective either. It makes sense. It doesn't make any sense from like any angle. It's ridiculous.
There's this comment here from Tom Lynch. It's American owners stirring the pot. And that's exactly what it is. They're not used to relegation like NHL, NFL. So they come into football in Europe and they expect to be in every competition and stuff. It's like, no, you got to be on your tip of your toes and actually spend the money, hire the right people for your club instead of trying to cover it up with this Super League so you can distance yourself away from a team like us, which I guarantee people like Daniel Levy, the Glazers, and the Cronkies are afraid of.
Yep. I mean, it is down. I think it is a lot down to ownership and just these people are just seeing huge, big dollar signs in their eyes, and I think they want to exploit football. To be honest, I don't think they've got interest in it as much as other people have. I think these guys want to exploit the game and get as much money as they can out of it, and then bugger off to something else. And as usual, it'll be the fans left to pick up the aftermath of it. For me, I would hate to think that Newcastle got involved in a Super League. I don't agree with it at all. I was really pleased, as I said last night on last night's show, when Mark Goldbridge came out and thoroughly went against what Manchester United tried to do. He said, as a Man United fan, he would hate for a Super League to happen because it just destroys football. I mean, Roy, what's your thoughts out there on the Super League? Was there any backlash out there?
There's two types really. You've got the proper football fans. They don't want the Super League, and then you've got the new plastic ones who are like, I don't want to watch Wolves and Newcastle. I want to watch Real Madrid every week. I want to watch Barcelona. Actually, Real Madrid and Juventus are still in it, so it hasn't been scrapped completely. So those two are still in, working behind the scenes. PSG, funny enough, they've pulled out. Well, they haven't actually entered into that mix.
That was interesting. They never did they? They never really sort of were in it, which I didn't realize until later on, a few weeks after the whole thing. I don't think the PSG hierarchy were too pleased with being linked with it either. But listen, I mean, PSG have enough money. We know that. So do, Newcastle United now. But it's going to be this new Champions League format. I just don't get it at all. So like we were saying last night, Alex, Man United finished 7th, and Newcastle finished 5th. Man United getting into the Champions League. I mean, it stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, it's meant to be on merit. It takes away the sporting competitiveness, the sporting integrity. What's the point? What's the point anymore? It's apologies for any Americans in the chat, but it's such an American concept. You've got to earn your place. That's how sport works in Europe and in Britain. And it just makes no sense. There is no royalty of football. It's not how that works. The teams that have become royalty, such as your Milans and your Real Madrids, they did it through winning and through achieving those places on merit. So you rob the chance of other clubs achieving that status by implementing something like that. It just makes no sense. It's I mean, they don't like, a lot of people in the Big Four, the Big Six, the fans, they don't like the other 14 talking about this conspiracy. We get laughed off in the media by the general public. But if they do go ahead with something like this, then it starts to become, well, a bit more indefensible then, because it seems to be it's going to be there for all to see.
Ben says the Solomon Islands are near British West Hartlepool. Solomon is off the coast of Papua New Guinea.
It is.
It is. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere near Guinea. Egypt won't be going either to the World Cup.
Got beat. They just got beat on penalties against Senegal.
Wow, against Senegal as well. The team that beat in the
in the final, yeah.
The team that lost. No, they lost to the Egypt. Didn't win it, did they?
They lost in the final to Senegal on penalties as well. So they beat them in the cup final. And
dear me.
No Nigeria as well. Ghana qualified.
Yeah, Ghana's going through.
Ghana's going as well. Wow. I tell you what, this could be a pretty straightforward walk to the World Cup for England. All these bloody minority nations going. I've just started World War III with that comment, haven't I? Christ. Jim says Canada might have a chance of getting to the second round if the Qataris can get the temperature down to -10 with a gale blowing. Yeah.
I mean, that's an excuse a lot when away teams come to Canada, like Mexico. They're complaining about the cold. It's like, well, how else are we supposed to have our home games? There's no city in Canada in January that's above 0 degrees.
Very true. Julie says the Toon Review does not advocate slapping anyone with any animal's testicles. Indeed. Are there African cichlids in the tank, Paul? Yes, they are, Carlos, mate. Stu says, hi, Keith, not bad, mate. Stuck at work until 10ish. Eddie is doing a great job, says Davey. Indeed, he is. Tom says, in January 92, just before Keegan arrived, we were dreadful and at the bottom of the old second division. I went to a friendly at St. James's where we battered a full-strength New Zealand team 3-0. Yeah, it says a lot. Speculation about management is just clickbait, says Matthew. But we're going to get this all the time now. That's the problem. And I do feel for. I mean, Eddie Howe probably expected anyway. You know, Newcastle with all this money. So, obviously the world class managers are going to be always mentioned with Newcastle now. And certainly if we go on bad runs, it'll be like, oh, Eddie's running out of time and all this. Ryan.
Yeah, well, to the Toon Review family, just don't click on the articles. Just laugh it off and move on.
A Canadian player tried to do a Bruno on Sunday. Is that right, Ryan?
I don't remember, but it was against Jamaica, so you can get away with it. No disrespect.
I'm sorry, but you just mentioned Jamaica. I can just imagine the Jamaican goalkeeper just lying in the goal mouth with a doobie, just chilling out.
He had a toque and this thing to cover his ears. So it was so cold in Toronto on Sunday.
It's like cool runnings over and over again, except with a football team, isn't it? Just sort of shivering as soon as they step off the plane. My God, what is this?
We accidentally discovered this the other day that Canada have actually got a couple of dual nationality Jamaican Canadians. We discovered that by accident when I was researching the free transfer show.
Yeah, we're benefiting a lot from the dual nationalities. I won't lie about that.
I mean, to be fair, we've been doing that for a very long time. That's why
Yeah,
we have
same
the
with France
Commonwealth
too.
gold medals.
They wouldn't win a World Cup if they didn't have all those Africans.
Oh, what did I say about World War III? Rohan, what's Martin Hardy been tweeting about Dan Ashworth?
Martin Hardy from Times has said, blow for Newcastle Summer's transfer plans. No compensation fee agreed for Dan Ashworth, so would be director of football still on gardening leave at Brighton. Both sides standing firm, which probably means Brighton are asking for a ridiculous amount of money, or Newcastle are not offering a fair price. It's likely to be Brighton asking for so much money, thinking we're desperate, thinking, all it depends on Dan Ashworth. Where if it comes to, I think if it comes to the end of this year, he can join for free, and it's like, surely Brighton, you want some money while you can get him, because as we've shown in January, we can sign players without a director of football that have a job for us. So, and I'm sure Dan Ashworth is in contact with the club. Maybe not in a full capacity, but I'm sure he'll be giving a bit of snippets and stuff. So,
yeah,
listen,
I think it'll get sorted eventually. It will.
It's not that important right now either. I think people are underestimating what he does or what a director of football does, and we are more than capable of going out and finding players that fit system, shape, the ability, the characteristics. The team are more than capable of doing that. His sort of job is to find the players that we know the obvious players because we can look at the stats ourselves as the general public.
Indeed.
Somebody of that quality, their job is to find the people that you don't know are good yet, to find the hidden talent, to do the scouting, the checking, the who can develop, who's going to develop the physicality or the talent or the attributes. That's the hard bit. We can do the easy bit and look at who's good right now, because we've got everything available. But what they do is that's going to be more of a future thing. And I think the summer window, we're probably already well prepped for what we're going to do. There's probably a lot of ideas and plans in place already. So
yeah, I agree.
It's more of a future thing. So it doesn't matter if we get him right now or in 3 months, 6 months. I don't think it's going to impact things too much.
Yeah.
Similar to the Man United in January saying, "Oh, look how this Lingard, we want a 12 million bonus because look, if you don't stay up, if you don't get Lingard, you won't stay up or whatever." And how crucial that is for you. You can pay us 12 million because that's how much you'll gain. And it's quite similar to that. It's like, oh, if you don't get Dan Ashworth, you might have a terrible summer. And it's like, well, no, look our January.
The summer's probably
that's such a hard window to operate in, and we've shown that we can make good signings. Yeah, Wood a bit overpriced, but that's the January window. So obviously I would prefer him to have him than not have him for the summer. But if we don't have him for the summer, I'm not going to be worried or anything. I'll be still excited. So,
Keith, thank you very much for your $10 super chat. I want to beat the Tots so bad. I believe he's talking about Spurs. Got to deal with one of their fans stateside on about a daily basis. Would be perfect finish for them. Is 1 point short of European football. Dear me. We've got Mr. Sinclair joining us.
Hey.
Good evening. Guys, just a quick mention. If you are enjoying tonight's show, please do stick a thumbs up on the show. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Less than 50 away now from 10K, which is astonishing. We've got over 300 watching tonight, which is great. So please do pass the channel on. But make sure you get subscribed. And like Keith has just done, you can donate to the channel tonight if you hit the $sign at the bottom of the live comments. So thank you in advance for that. And of course, a quick mention to our sponsors, Geordie Riffs, premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based in the Northeast, offering 10% off your first repair or 10% off your first guitar servicing. They are offering your first guitar lesson completely free of charge as well if you mention the Toon Review. And they do have a recording studio as well if you fancy going and jamming some strings, if that's what that's called. I don't know. But you can get them at geordieriffs.co.uk on the interweb, at Geordie Riffs on Instagram, and at Geordie Riffs Official on Facebook. John Sinclair, how are you doing?
Good evening, Paul. Evening, guys. Hope you're okay. Absolutely fine. Just it's been a long while.
It has, mate. Yeah, I just watched your show earlier on with Maisie. How did that Man United segment go?
She I think she was excellent again. She's absolutely fantastic. Just talked about a few things. Talked about my team as well. Her
Well,
team.
did you talk
But
about?
Man United.
I mean, I'm not. I didn't hear anything about
Our
Newcastle.
team.
All I heard was about Louis van Gaal, managers of Man United, Marcus Rashford. I don't think I caught any Newcastle players getting mentioned. But hey ho, welcome to a Newcastle channel, John Sinclair.
Thank you very much.
Ellis says, didn't Chelsea tweet out that the ref and VAR was awarded their man of the match? So why aren't they getting fined? Ryan, why?
Wait, Chelsea or the refs?
Well, why aren't Chelsea getting fined for their comments?
I don't know. I guess they can't read sarcasm.
Well, good point. Yeah.
Because they're a member of the Big Six.
But yeah, no, like you said, they have no accountability, but the amount of damn protection they have, man, like it's incredible. It's incredible the amount of protection these refs have. Like I think they're just paid to officiate the game, and then they're paid just to like keep a calm head when a home crowd or any fans are just booing you. And they just, after the game, they just go in the dugout, get changed, go home or some shit. They don't do any interviews. You don't hear a word from them after. You just hear about opinions from coaches, pundits, us.
We mentioned TV broadcasters, TV rights. They could, in theory, lean on this because they expect managers to make to give interviews. It's an expectation as part of the TV contracts. They could, in theory, lean on this and make the officials do the same. They probably won't, but it's a way to force it. But it'd have to be from the broadcaster's side, and that's a way to kind of cheat it in, so they have to do it.
Ryan, I think Foxy's asking a question for you here. Will Jonathan David ever score a goal again? 1 in 15.
Should have scored against Costa Rica, but I guess
Jesus Christ.
This
Where
will
the
be
hell's
only...
Costa Rica?
It's in North America, like by Mexico.
There's a local
Is it
Costa
a
everywhere.
tiny little sort of patch of land just off Mexico?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Honestly,
we're down 10 men,
Navas.
and they're sitting back. They're sitting back with 11 men. That's how pathetic some of these
because the
countries
Costa
are.
Rica, Ryan, they just pick rice in fields and shit like that, or grow opium. You know, they don't play football. Again, I do apologise for starting.
It's like
World War
complaining
III.
about San Marino parking the bus against England. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
what else are they going to do?
Proudlock, good evening.
All I'll say,
That is some shirt you've got on there, my man. Enjoy Sprite.
Yes.
all I'll say,
Free
this is
sponsorship.
Jonathan David's got like 12, 13 goals in league.
No, we're past that now, Ryan. You've had your say on him.
This will be the only goal drought he has. I'm done.
No, DGL Float says refs don't have to answer after the matches because they are pressured to make these decisions by the Premiership. Why would they force them to explain when they are told to do it? Corrupt as foo. Indeed. Tell that Canadian guy to put a word in with Alphonso Davies. Great back kick.
If he comes to the Premier League, I'd only.
Yeah, let's
Sorry,
hope
but
Bayern win the Champions League, and then he gets bored and needs a new challenge, and then we can be the new challenge.
Yeah, exactly. But as of now, I think he only goes to like Man City. I could think of.
Why not Newcastle, Ryan?
Give us a year.
Not yet, Paul. Not yet.
Whose was that phone?
That was mine.
Was that Michael Jackson?
It was.
I don't know what to think. I mean, Michael Jackson on one ringtone. You know, John has bloody Bros or whoever it was, or Ace of Base or Spice Girls. I can't remember who it was. Oh,
John's ringtone is Glory, Glory, Man United.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it is. Actually, John, you did say again tonight. Manchester United. You're saying something amazing, and you're going, well, it's just a fact that Man United are the biggest football club in the world. That is just a fact. Why do you say this bull rot? Well, they're not, John. They are not. There's bigger clubs in the world now than Manchester United.
Red.
Yeah, Real Madrid.
No, this one. This one right here.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Yeah.
Juventus.
Kiss the shirt.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, he's on.
Real Madrid.
Yes.
Yeah.
My fear now, because there is no doubt the powers that be have tried to screw us so many. So my view now is it won't be goal decisions they look at. They will look at anything before the goal to write the goal off. Yeah, which they do. Davey says Rangers never came back up. It was Sevco, who whatever that means. I don't know. Keith says I agree they should have all been relegated to the Championship. John, what's your view on the Super League teams? Should they have been relegated?
100%. I mean, the thing is, right, what they're trying to do, they're trying to have a league of their own, right? They don't care about just don't care about us, like, you know what I mean? I've never wanted a Super League, Paul. Never wanted a Super League. It is an absolute joke. If this happens, I don't think it will. If it happens, then how could be done with football? Because what is the point? It's all about money, money, money all the time. They just don't care.
Well, Caitlin and Nick make a point here. Didn't Juve get relegated for doing something wrong about 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah, it did.
I'm sure I remember them being in Serie B when I was a kid. They were. I remember when all that happened.
Cheating.
So apparently Kraft got asked about Saudi ownership in an interview. Poland have beaten Sweden, am I right?
Yeah.
They are.
Okay.
Lewandowski got one. Kraft starting a right back for him in a back four.
Looks like
Not doing
Portugal is going to qualify too.
Well, they're already
Yeah,
playing
Toon.
Macedonia. John, what happened to
up.
Italy, my man? I mean, you see, I mean, it just goes from bad to worse for you, mate. I mean, and I knew as soon as they lost, I knew there would be a thumbnail sticking out in YouTube saying, "What has happened to Italy? Magic disaster! Mamma mia! Pizzeria!" Everything was going to kick off.
So he asked.
Wow.
So he demands for an Italian fan or an Italian journalist to come on. Who to bring on? An Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
Luca.
I saw that, yeah.
No,
Or a Manchester United.
listen. This should never happen, though, Paul. I mean, they should have qualified all matches ago. They should have beaten
John, in case you don't know, I'm English. I don't give a Scooby-Doo's rat's ass whether Italy are in the World Cup or not. I do not care. I care not. I would rather, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather lick a baboon's backside than Italy win the World Cup. I do not care. Stephanie says, hey, everyone, been watching the England match, a bit boring, though. Well, that's why you should be watching this channel, Steph. Shame on you. Tom says it's American owners stirring the pot. American owners are the worst.
That's what I said earlier.
Dominic says, like any job, it's amazing when you make anyone accountable for their performance and they know there will be consequences. They improve the standards. This needs to be applied to refs and their bosses. Yeah, it's all right saying it needs to be applied to the refs, but it also needs to be applied to the man in charge, which is Mike Riley at the minute, Peter. And Mike Riley is a bell end.
Oh yeah, that was a referee back in the days. He was really terrible at his job as well, wasn't he?
Well, he was abysmal, quite honestly.
He was one of the worst.
George is asking, so didn't the Big Six have their fines cancelled?
No, it was like 3
No, they
million
didn't.
each.
Yeah, they just-
Wasn't that much that they got
They,
fined for?
they
3 million?
negotiated their own
Nothing,
fines. They had secret meetings to negotiate their own fines with Richard Masters, the absolute bell.
Yeah. Graham says, what do you guys think about Newcastle official TV channel? How official is it? We're signing players every day. Graham,
it's at
it's
the
not
bottom,
official
is it?
in the slightest. It is not even 1% official. If you like watching a channel with a robotic voice talking to you, which is pre-recorded mumbo jumbo, then go and subscribe. But they shouldn't be calling themselves Newcastle official TV channel because they're not. They're nothing to do with
It's not been
Newcastle
taken
United.
down yet, to be fair.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I think they will be taken down eventually. And whoever started that channel needs a big slap because it's not official at all. And they don't even have proper people on there talking about it. It's a robot or a robotic voice. So, if you like that kind of thing.
The videos aren't even long enough for ad roll either, so I don't know what their objective is, to just annoy people, I think.
Exactly. And it's probably been
Yeah,
set up by
Mackham.
Mackhams. So there you go. The disabled team. Good evening, everybody. Evening, guys. Hope you're well. Just read we most likely have dubs for the Spurs game. Yeah, he is recovering well from tonsillitis, apparently. I think, within sort of 48 hours, it's gone from a heart disease to a little bit of a tickle on the back of the throat. So, you know what it is? It's good for Newcastle. It's good for him as well, because obviously a lot of people were worried when the angina thing was mentioned. That's a certainty. Tom says American sports are a closed shop. They want football the same. I mean, I agree. Obviously, I follow a lot of the ice hockey in Canada and America. I'm a New York Rangers fan, but following the ice hockey, you kind of, you get they play 82 league games a season. 82, right? This is what gets me about footballers, right? The twist about playing 2 games a week. These guys can play 3 to 4 matches in 7 days. And they could go from New York to Vancouver in Canada, back to New York, then up to Buffalo or somewhere like that. These guys are all over the countries. And footballers twist on. I mean, footballers twist on about a lot. I mean, they go down because they broke a toenail and stuff like that. But, you get to sort of, I mean, yes, there's a race for the playoffs in the hockey. You've got to be a certain position to qualify for the playoffs, which is fair enough. That creates a bit of excitement towards the end of the season. But when there's no relegation, there's no looking down at the other end of the league and thinking, oh, they're in trouble or they're in trouble. They know they're going to be in the same division next season. And there's no sort of real panic. It's just sort of, oh, well, we were crap this season. We'll rebuild for next season. And if you finish bottom of the table, you get the first number 1 draft pick, which I find unreal. Like the best young kid coming through the game, the team with a wooden spoon gets the first draft pick. It's bananas the way it works, but it's been like that for years. It's not going to change either. But I just think, when there's no relegation, it kind of cuts off the bottom teams, really, because they've got nothing to play for. But you say, well, be professional. But how professional are you going to be in ice hockey? You don't want to get, you got 10 games left, and you want to keep your looks about you. You don't want to go on holiday with a broken nose and 20 stitches in your face. You're not going to put it in. It's crazy. Carl says referees explaining their decisions. Most of them would have to confess to being fans of the corrupt 6.
Yeah.
Good evening, mate, Dean. How are you doing? I can't stand that, man. Jim says, got the England Ivory Coast game on, and Willy Bolly just came on. It's for Ivory Coast, not for England. It's Ivory Coast, isn't it? Mind you, I mean, some of the picks I'm seeing out there. Who's this Mitchell guy, by the way, for England?
He
plays for Palace.
He's a left back for Palace.
He's not been too bad. He's been all right. Ward-Prowse just skimmed the crossbar from 30 yards out as well. That was mental. He's been good.
I don't care. It's an England friendly.
You'll care if we buy him.
Well, yeah.
I was looking forward to this break because I thought, obviously, when Trippier was playing well, obviously before he got injured, I was looking forward to having a Newcastle player in the England squad. Yeah. And obviously, when he got injured, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not watching England. I don't care.
It was definitely in his plans because he came up to watch when Trippier signed for us. So he watched a couple of games.
He came to watch Trippier, but he was probably just passing by and he thought, oh, where's the nearest game? Oh, it's at St James's Park. Let's go and I'll go and take in a football game
as well because Ben White started at right back because they're all injured. So Trippier would have played definitely.
Listen, it's a bloody free meal. Poland 2-0 up against Sweden now as well, by the way. So it looks like Emil Kraft isn't going to the World Cup. Tom says PSG and the German sides, Bayern and Dortmund, said no to the Super League straight away. Indeed, they did. All right, I think I'm going to break down and cry. That Canadian's basement is bigger than my flat and possibly my neighbour's flat put together. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the fact of the matter is Canadians and Americans have these basements that are bigger than normal English people's houses. Obviously not the King of Qatar because he lives in a palace and he's got butlers. John lives in some kind of Old Trafford homage hut.
Come on.
Paul Wales is head of the mafia, so he's probably got 25 places to go and hide. But Ryan,
safe house.
Yeah, safe house as well. I mean, but Ryan, I mean, God Almighty, I would just love a basement like that because I'd just fill it with fish tanks. I'd just have a massive fish room.
I think there's more entertainment out of your fish tank than there is from Steve Bruce.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know.
Bit harsh
You could
on
empty the fish
that.
tank in it and still be more entertaining.
Yeah. Listen, there's some nasty buggers in there. I'll tell you. As soon as you put your hand in, they go for you, and they've got bloody teeth on them. Mark Reed says, "God, what an awful idea the Super League is. It will be such a stupid idea. Hopefully, it will never happen." But they are trying to make it happen by stirring around the Champions League. It's just the way they work. It's all about money. It really is. Anyway, let's turn to the Tottenham game. Jason, I mean, we're expecting a change from Newcastle. We're expecting a much more upbeat performance than what we saw towards the end of that, win and run, and then obviously losing the last two games. Everton was poor. They just seemed completely out of gas for me in the second half, especially. So what would we be looking for? Is this similar to what we had last warm weather break that they had away?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all noticed that the players were they were tired. They were absolutely shattered. The break's probably going to do them a whole lot of good, especially being out doing their warm weather training. So I'm looking forward to a much better performance against Spurs. I'm feeling quite confident against that, providing Chris Wood don't play. But I'm feeling actually quite good about that.
I think Chris Wood will be in the starting lineup, matey.
Oh, God. I'd rather have Shearer's statue playing because he'd do more than Chris Wood would bloody well do.
I mean, it's an interesting one. Dwight Gale did feature in Dubai and did score twice in the friendly. So there
you go, start Gale. What did I say? What did I say for the last game? Start Gale.
But does anybody think that increases his chances of getting any minutes, or do we still think it's absolutely no?
Not at all.
For me, I want Gale to start, but I think
one at a time, guys.
I should have mentioned somebody. Sorry.
Alex starting a bloody pile on there.
That's why I'm not the host. I do just
guys. You know the rules on the fan forum. One at a time. Or else I chuck you bastards off. Right? Let's get that straight right now. Dwight Gale, I believe, was what Alex mentioned. Now, listen. Would he do a worse job than Chris Wood? Roy?
Nah, I've seen him play. Sometimes he looks non-existent. We seem like we're playing with 10 men when he's.
And Chris Wood does.
Well, for me, Chris Wood.
Sorry, I shouldn't ask you about Chris Wood. Easy,
I love Chris Wood.
Oh, hello, Chris. Photo. I love you playing for Newcastle. You are awesome. Chris Wood. I'm going to put your picture all over the internet. I love you so much.
I'm going to put it on now.
Oh, naff off, Roy. Right, let's talk to somebody who isn't in love with Chris Wood.
Man.
Oh, really? I mean, look at that. I'm not putting you on full screen, Roy, because it's embarrassing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Paul, Sales, speak some sense other than that bloody Wood lover to the left, to the other side of you. Would Dwight Gale do a worse job?
Probably not. But whoever you play is not going to score not score many goals, or if any more goals this season. You don't know what to turn. I think I'd rather bring one of the young'uns in, give them a try.
Yeah. Scott, yes, I do think they'll still pursue Lingard without a doubt. Peter, Dwight Gale or Wood, who would you start?
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I think it's going to be Wood. He's not going to persist with Dwight Gale at all. I just can't see it happening. He's going to stick with Chris Wood.
I think he would have had an opportunity by now. John, Dwight Gale or Eric Jemba?
Well, you know what it is, right? I mean, Dwight Gale hardly played the season, right? And I just cannot see Eddie picking him at all. And I hate to say this, he's going to persevere with Wood. I really do. And it's sad, but it's what it is. So he's going to play Wood.
He didn't say Wood. He said Jemba.
Yeah. Good.
Hey, I know who he is. I'm not going to mention him.
Right,
So
Rohan, Rohan, you've just put in the private chat, give Munoz a go. What makes you think that Munoz would be good enough to start in the Premier League?
because he scored in the under-23s. That means he's clearly good enough for this league. But I did put
On
a winky
what
face
grounds
next
do
to
you
it.
base that on?
No, I don't. That was a joke. But
on the grounds that
honestly,
he's played less games than Wood and has already equalled the amount of goals that he's scored.
Well, in a different league, but yeah.
Ryan, you really do love Chris Wood.
If we bend the truth, you're right, I guess.
You can just see Roy getting more annoyed by the second as Chris Wood is being dissed by the forum. His new best mate. Roy, I'm sorry, man. I really am. He scored that great free kick versus Liverpool.
Oh,
in the movie, he's on about the movie.
That's almighty. Roy, that is a Sinclair right there, that comment. Honestly. Ryan's got guns. There wasn't not those guns because this question popped up. Does Ryan ever use any of that gym equipment in the background? No, because it still has plastic covers. I think
Alfonso Davis pops in and uses it every so often.
Hey, Fonso. Wanna lift some weights, huh? Yeah, baby. Dean says, can we please start referring to them as the corrupt six? Indeed. Boxing refs and judges are the same. Is Rika Mexican for coffee, says Jack.
No idea.
I think it was a Costa joke.
But yes, well done, Alex. Caitlin Nick say they grow cocaine. I am well aware you don't actually grow cocaine. The Toon Review does not advocate the taking of any substance. Thank you very much.
Nope.
Or growing it.
or growing it, yes. Listen, if it snows this week and you don't have snow on your house roof, we know what's going on. When you go on holidays, do you say Newcastle, Briggsy? What the hell is that about? Is Proudlock bonking fairies with that T-shirt? I have no idea what that means. But fair enough. Oh my God, Anne Hegarty is on the channel and she's had a haircut.
Oh God Almighty!
Almighty, man.
Alex, you see us poaching current Bournemouth players. How signed? For example, Solanke. No, but
I don't mind Solanke. I really don't. Considering we have Wilson, Gale, Wood right now, I don't know. It depends how the summer business goes. If we sign an absolute worldy striker, I wouldn't mind worldy striker Wilson, Solanke, and then we've got Wood as a rotation target man. It depends on what sort of fee he'll command and how he does for the rest of the season. But he's improved a lot since everybody just remembers his season in the Prem and how bad that was. And that's not how he's playing right now.
Fair enough. Ken says Man United are nearly 1 billion in debt, so how can be the biggest club in the world? I think that's for you. I think that's for you, John.
Solanke, by the way, championship just for Paul, because Paul Paul's that way. We'll talk about this on the other transfer show, but Brereton Diaz is a free agent in the summer as well, and I know you liked him, but he's injured at the moment.
Anyway, John, do you want to answer the Man United question while we're on?
Or I can presume that they just spend money, just keep spending money, and it gets into that much debt. I mean, the Glaziers will obviously service that debt, so that's why they come in.
Well, that's enough about Man United for now. Penalty box. Jim says, sorry, but Davis is not on my list. Don't think he could hack the Premier League just yet. And he's Canadian, is Jim. So there you go. You're back, John, but don't talk about the other football side. Alex says, we want to see Santiago Munoz's goal. How dare the stewards kick Adam out? Exactly. But, on a serious note, the fans would have wanted to see that. But, it's just the way it is. Right. What formation do you think Eddie Howe will play on Sunday, guys? Rohan, we'll start with you. Is there a specific form? Do you think he'll stick with a 4-3-3 or will he go 3 at the back?
Nah, it's not Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, but even then I would be reticent to change the formation, even though against Chelsea we did well in a 5-4-1, but I think that was mainly because of the players we had missing. obviously because we only had 2 centre mids against Chelsea. But I would play 4-3-3. Obviously, are you asking about a lineup or just formation?
Formation. I mean, lineup, we don't know because we do. Obviously, I mean, you can predict a lineup, but you know, the last few times that people have tried to predict a lineup, we've been very confused by Eddie Howe's press conferences in which he doesn't give anything away, and then B, an hour before kickoff, we're all amazed at the 11 players that are starting. We never. It's a bit like the Rafford days when you never could tell who's going to be on that team sheet, and it's crazy. But I mean, what formation would you go for, Peter?
I would go 4-3-3 as well. I think we need to go to that use that formation. I mean, Spurs, they are a good attacker, but they can't be vulnerable at the back. If Eric Dyer plays, who's one of the worst centre backs in the Premier League, you've got a chance of going at him if we go out attacking and put him under massive amount of pressure. So I'd say go for it.
AB says, does Ryan have a big pink ball behind him?
Yep, my mom uses it for working out.
Yeah, okay. Does anybody believe that? No, I thought not. I mean, Roy, what do you think? Do you like the 4-3-3 formation, or is it something that maybe? Do you think Eddie Howe will ever change to 4-4-2?
No, I'll go for 4-3-3 now, but it depends. Fabian Schär, if he's injured, would you trust Lascelles to stay at centre back as well? So I might play with 3 at the back, just in case.
Yeah.
But I hope Son plays like he did today because it was shocking.
Yeah, I mean, we really need to keep him quiet. Simon says, I think
Spurs will play a back. Is anybody factoring in that Spurs will play a back 5, or you just think we'll pick a formation for us and ignore what they're doing? Like, because Conte plays a very Conte sort of system. This is what Chelsea did. Chelsea went to a back 5 against us because they struggled, and they did better.
That's a question for John again, isn't it? To talk about Conte.
Well, he always plays the back 3, Conte. He always plays that way, 3-4-3, and he's not going to change that. But you know, I think you got to go 4-3-3.
Can we exploit Tottenham's formation with the players we have available? Do you think?
We can. I don't. You look at the back 3. I don't think Eric Dyer. He can be got at. He's got a mistake in him. If Davinson Sanchez play, which I doubt he will, if he did, that'd be good for us because he's not that good. I think Ben Davison has improved a little bit under Conte, and who else is at the back?
Romero.
Romero, yeah, he's quality. Romero's quality. He's getting to it now. I mean, he can be a bit reckless in the tackles, man, but honest dear, I think he's a quality player. I mean, I watch him. We used to play for Atalanta and Genoa, and he's a cracking defender.
How did I know it would turn to Italian football? It's incredible how you managed to spin it to Italian football.
Sorry.
I mean, you know, we talk about the Tottenham formation, and somehow you get back to Serie A. Unbelievable.
Sorry,
Foxy says, serious question. When was the last time Gale had a great competitive performance for the club?
Probably a long time. Probably the championship days, I would say.
Man United away, maybe, with his goal.
Well, he got a brace against Bournemouth in the Premier League.
What about the Norwich game, the comeback game?
Yeah, that's his best game.
Yeah, scored a hat-trick, didn't he?
Scored a hat-trick.
I feel sorry for Gale. I really think he's a good finisher. He's just missing too many other bits of the puzzle to be a complete player. He does have a lot of quality. He just didn't have quite enough. He reminds me of a Jermaine Defoe that's had his batteries taken out. Like he wasn't quite there because he was the same when he was at Crystal Palace as well. He looked almost a good striker. He just missing
he's just
something.
happy to pick up a wage packet, so I don't feel sorry for him. So.
Paul, one thing I will say quickly as well. I mean, I think Ryan's just typed in Emerson Royale. If he plays at ring back, and ASM has to start because he could be got at. He is not very good.
Don't say it, John.
It's more like
don't say it. I knew it.
Don't jinx it.
What did he say?
Someone
John, I
tell
knew
you.
John was going to say he's not Emerson Royale, it's Chicken Royale. You stole that joke too. I've heard it before you said that.
John, stealing content, you're joking.
No. I knew that before. I knew it months ago.
Oh, God. Sean
But
says,
you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
after watching Sean Longstaff mic'd up, I think you'll be in the midfield this weekend.
No, I hope not.
Oh, no.
No way, man.
He's got to be with two
Probably
strong
because
characters, doesn't he? He needs a bit of help.
Yeah. Leonardo says, interesting backgrounds. Paul has a fish tank, Alex a sombrero, Ryan a massive pink gobstopper, and Rohan a ghost over his shoulder.
I'm so tempted to go and buy an actual sombrero.
It's just a bin.
Yeah, I think you should, Alex. Yeah, I think you need to get onto Amazon. I'm sure you can get one next day.
Anybody want to embroider an NUFC badge onto a sombrero?
One thing I'll say about Tottenham too is like I agree with Alex. Like I was thinking maybe a wingback system because I think Eddie Howe's got a decent record against like head to head against Antonio Conte. The thing is with the wingbacks, you question would Eddie Howe go for 3 midfield and 2 up top or 3 up top with 2 midfield?
I think he's going to do the same as he always does, but it's going to look like a 4-5-1.
Because to be fair, the 2 in midfield against Chelsea actually worked.
And it depends if Shah's injured as well. Us having 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Means what? Kraft as a centre back and Manquillo. It starts to get a bit weird if you're trying to shoehorn it in. Not sure we got the players available for that kind of system right now, especially against Tottenham away.
Christopher, you have qualified for a Sinclair tonight with the worst joke of the night. 2 fish in a tank. One says to the other, "You operate the gun and I'll drive the thing."
No, I've heard that before.
Terrible. So, are any of you guys confident that we can get something on Sunday, or are you thinking past the Tottenham game more so for the 3 home games that we've got coming up?
I think we can get
We
something.
haven't got a bad record. We haven't got a bad record against Spurs that time.
Well, we've never lost at the new stadium, John.
I think
Not
the
really,
most
no.
would be a draw because honestly, I saw them
That's the
tear
play,
apart
yeah.
West Ham. You question it though, it's like, can they replicate that level of performance again? Who knows?
Yeah, it depends which Spurs turns up to be
I
fair.
think a draw at most.
Doesn't matter which Spurs team turns up. We got the Spurs Slayer in Joe Linton there too anyway to score a goal.
Oh yeah, I
I mean,
hope
if
that
we
happens again.
beat them physically, then we've got a good chance. It's just obviously they beat Man City, then the next week they lose in a battle to Burnley because they were that physically weak. I think that's why I would persist with Wood, only because
Wood versus not Wood, sorry, Burn versus Kane will be good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think ASM will start. I think it's
Maybe has to.
well, his goals. I mean, he scored, didn't he? On the trip away in the friendly game, and that'll give him some a real spark, I think. Because I think, from what I can gather from his social media various accounts he's got,
He's trying to prove a point.
yeah, he's a little pissed.
Rightly so.
Well, yes, rightly so. But it will be
I'll
interesting.
start that debate again.
The thing I'd say about that though is I feel like ASM, in a perfect world, I think these footballers would do so much better without social media. To be honest, because they won't have the urge to after a game look at their Twitter mentions or any of the comment sections, and
I have
they
a
tend
rant
to do
about
that.
that specifically, Ryan. I'm not happy with Lascelles and Kraft consistently coming out for interviews when it's going well. I'm sorry, but if you want to be a big boy, that you've got to come and speak to the fans when it's not going well. Fabian Schär came out and gave interviews when we sucked, and he was honest, and he said it's not good enough, and we need to try harder. So Lascelles, you're the captain. You need to speak all the time and be open. I do obviously agree that abuse and hate is fair enough to come off social media. That's shouldn't be tolerated. But you can't only just speak and do interviews when it's going well. So that's Kraft and Lascelles both doing that. If you try hard, we'll get behind you. As we have done for most of the lads. Just try. Like, don't just hide and only do interviews when you've had a couple of good performances. That's you should be there all the time. You should be in, it's not good enough.
Archer, good. What the hell's going on with the hair tonight? I'm not sure whether that's Archer or it's Beavis and Butthead.
Bing's just got one.
Archer, how come you just sort of come on the show for the last 5 minutes? I mean, do you just like forget we're on or something?
No. I just thought I'd come on.
You know, he gives the most, he gives the most in-depth answers. Yeah, I mean, he's just enjoy the interview. I mean, it's 3-0 New England. Yes, I'm just seeing Tyrone Mings. It just hit his big slab head. Matthew says definitely 10K by Sunday, Paul. Yeah, hopefully that'll be great.
You've got a chance.
So Archer, alone in your room on a Tuesday evening, hair sticking up like it's been freshly groomed. How are you feeling about Sunday's game?
I think we'll probably get a point. To be fair, I'll take a point doing Tottenham.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would, to be honest. And I think a point away at Tottenham's a good result. I think it's certainly not a bad result. Leonardo says Archer looks like a real character, though his hair looks like it hasn't fully downloaded yet. Yeah. Poland have just qualified. They are through to the World Cup, as are Portugal. So Ronaldo will be at the World Cup. Is probably his last one. Well, will be his last one. Ken says, with a bit of luck, Wood gets the shit kicked out of him and injured against the Solomon Islands, and we don't have to discuss him playing. Ken, I mean,
wow.
Don't wish injury upon players. That's not fair.
No, I think very harsh, very harsh. Foxy says, question for Alex. I've been impressed with Jakub Kaminski from Lech in Poland. Would love to see us sign youth prospects like that. Do you think he's good enough for the Premier League? Think he'll go to Germany, though, says Foxy.
Lech,
Are
is
you
in
aware
Lech
of him?
Poznan? Possibly. I'll have to have a look. I'll come back. I'll swing back around for that one. Yeah, he is at Poznan. I haven't seen him play in person.
Well, there's some homework for you. Jim says, somebody tell Archer a mohawk goes from front to back, not ear to ear. Thanks, Keith. If Shah is out, then it'll probably be a 3 at the back, says Matthew. I don't think we'll go 3 at the back against Tottenham. I'll be surprised if we do.
I can't.
I forgot that we had Fernandes there, so I was like,
we don't know if he's fully fit yet.
No, I think he's still out till April at some point.
Is he? Oh.
Apparently,
I think he's going to 2023s. Sorry, that Polish guy. It's difficult. That I wouldn't. Anybody who wants to look at the Polish leagues, I'd be careful, because anybody who's doing very well in there doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do well in the Premier League. So, for example,
you're not. It's safe to say, Alex, that you're not a fan of the Polish Football League, are you?
No, it's okay. It just produced some good talents. But we had Pocheta move to Norwich in the summer, and he's starting to get game time now. But that shows.
Whoa! Hang on, Alex. We.
Say what? What?
You're not Polish. I know you live there. But you can't
we is because he left from my team literally down the road. 5 minutes is the stadium, and I watch the home games.
It's not your team,
we're not
Alex.
in danger of playing
your
against
team
them
is Newcastle United.
Point.
Never forget that.
So the fact that one of the best young talents in the Ekstraklasa is just started getting into the Norwich side. That's the sort of level. Top level are going to be top end Championship. I think they've got a really good lad at Derby as well. So it's, you don't get Lewandowski's every day of the week. Those are quite few and far between.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah. Dan says, Ryan, I'm watching Furua Island at Newcastle University on Thursday. Have you heard of them?
What?
Hey, what? It's on the bloody screen.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Furua Island are obviously in a Canadian band.
That's like, as someone that's like 50 years old, that's past my time.
Ryan still listens to bedtime stories. All right, not music yet. He's not there. Right, Archie, you're getting hammered for your hairstyle, mate. Archie looks like the captain of Tintin. Wow. Callum thinks we'll go with a back three of Kraft, Lascelles, and Byrne.
Not Kraft. Sorry, not for me. Nah. Not Kraft.
Let's just play a 4 at back if you're going to put Kraft at centre back. Honestly,
More like Kraft.
Mohammed says Newcastle should sign Rashford on loan this summer. Not a chance. He is rubbish.
No.
There you go. I've said it. I do not rate Marcus Rashford.
Neither do I.
Right. It is. Oh, hang on. Dan says Future Islands. Ryan.
Right.
I still don't know who those are, man. Like I listen to like R&B and EDM. Like I'm not much
What
of
the
a
hell's
rock guy.
EDM?
Electronic dance music.
For God's sake.
Oh,
That's why he's got the big basement so he can dance.
Yeah. And the pink ball to bounce on.
I had a huge party in my basement before. In my
Sorry?
high school. I said I had a huge party in my basement back in my high
bet
school
you
days.
did, you dirty git. Right. Archer.
Yep.
Prediction for Sunday and Newcastle goal scorers, if indeed you predict us to score.
Spurs 2, Newcastle United 2.
Be a good game, that. And who's going to score for the Toon?
I'm going to go with St. Maximin and Joe Willock.
I'm sure you said that the last 3 times you predicted the scoreline, Archer. There is other players, just in case you want to mix it up a little bit.
Yes.
Joe Linton lost a game against Spurs, doesn't he?
Actually, I'll go with
He's changing it.
Yeah, I'm going to change it. St. Maximin and Chris Wood.
Oh, get out.
Oh,
Get out. Get out. Go.
That's even worse. Yeah, I tell you what, I'd love to know what the odds are for that. 2-2 and Chris Wood to get one of the goals. My God.
Wow.
You might become a millionaire if you put a $5 on, mate. Anyway, he's full of conversation now. Thanks for coming on, Archer.
Bye. Catch you later.
See you soon, buddy.
Catch you later.
The man with 1,000 words. Right, Peter.
I'm going to say 2-2 as well.
Wow.
And that's going to go with ASM and Fraser.
What gives everyone the idea that St. Maximan's actually going to score? I mean, is it just because he's probably
Who else?
Well, yeah.
Well, he's just been training. He's scored 2 in the friendlies. He's ready to go. Probably ready to play 90 minutes. And he's better than most players we've got on the pitch besides Bruno. So,
well, John's back door says 3-1 to Newcastle. Joe's going 1-0 Toon. Mohammed says Tottenham will win this game. Football Style says 2-1 Newcastle. Wood to score 3.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
I want to see it just to see Jason's face.
I would love it.
Love it. You love it. Right, Pete, thanks for coming on, buddy.
No problem. Good to know.
See you soon, matey. Sinclair.
Yes,
Now,
boss.
listen, before you give this prediction, you're predicting Newcastle.
We can't call him
Not the red.
You wait till he slips
Okay.
up and says Bruno Fernandes. Instead.
Yeah, you were talking about him tonight, weren't you, John? You were saying to Maisie how wonderful it is for Manchester United to negotiate a new contract with Bruno. Bruno! You called him Bruno!
That's just, it's nice she's sure as well, but that's the first one of
Kiss
day.
my hairy mammoth arse. God, Sinclair. I'm not having that bullcrap anymore.
Hey.
Right, get on with the prediction.
Sorry, sir.
You will.
Right, so it's going to be, I'm going to say once each, and my guy Willock's going to get the goal.
Willock. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You got
Well,
everyone's
thanks for
your guy,
coming on,
John.
buddy.
No
I'll let
problem.
you get back off to Old Trafford now. Take care.
You too. See you
See
later.
you soon, man. Take
See you
care.
soon, man.
Rohan,
I'm
bring some
gonna.
stability back to these predictions because
Yeah,
we
I'm
haven't
gonna
had
be-
one sin we're going to win yet.
To be fair, I've got two in my head, but I'm
You
gonna
can
be.
only go with
I'm
one.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna be the optimistic one and say 2-0. And I think we'll get a set piece goal, then we'll have to defend quite a lot. Tottenham struggle to break us, and then we'll get one on the counter attack. So I think Joe Linton will get set piece one, and I think Maxi will get the counter attack one.
Thanks, Julie, for that comment. At least I have somebody who will. Evening, Susan. Right. Why do you think we'll get a clean sheet away at Tottenham? What gives you that confidence?
Well, I think if we defend how I know we can, and Tottenham do notoriously struggle when they have more possession and struggle to break teams down, but then with the signing of Kulusevski, it'll be difficult, but I'm just being optimistic. And I think if our midfield three play as well as we know they can be, they'll outnumber. Would it be Højbjerg and Bentancur in the midfield, most likely?
Yeah.
That'll be a tough battle,
obviously,
to be fair.
You know what I like?
Bentancur is very good.
I think Højbjerg is a very good player, by the way.
He is,
I think
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
underrated, me. I do.
It's because everybody
Christian
mocks
Eriksen scored
Spurs.
tonight. Wow. He scored on the
On the same
ground
ground.
that he collapsed on a year ago.
Wow.
And he was captain. That is incredible. Foxy says, John saying my guy Willock a couple of weeks ago, he was calling him a pillock.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Certainly not going to argue with that. Jason, you cheeky get. So far, Paul's mentioned bulls, testicles, baboon bottoms, and mammoths. Gotta love all the animal talk.
We haven't had beavers yet, though.
Oh, let's not go there. Listen, I'm giving Ryan some time off from the beavers. I mean, is it a summer delicacy, Ryan?
No, I just eat like normal meat, man, like chicken.
I thought you had one off camera,
and
then he
beef.
just reached out to grab one.
I thought he was going to
I've
put
heard
one
that.
on the camera. I've got
You
a
mean
couple
one of these?
I've got a
I'm
couple.
telling you,
just,
the only
just drying out on the
the only
rack.
ones that eat beaver are probably the tribes or like people that live up north.
What? In Newfoundland.
No, they're out east.
I know.
People pay no attention to what Susan's just put in the chat, apart from the subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. So close to 10K. Paul's going to windmill whilst Alex plays guitar. That was never agreed and will never happen.
Oh no.
Jim says beaver musk for men. Wow. Beavers all year round, man, says V. What about moose, says Spencer? This is going crazy again. Anyway.
Can I ask Rohan a quick question? If
You can.
Lascelles plays instead of Shah, do you still think we'll get a clean sheet?
No,
Cool,
then
good
I would
question.
go one.
Yeah.
I would go. My reasoning was like, if we're defensively solid, I think we'll get a late counter attack goal because they'll go out for it. But I was going to go 1-1, but because I think they'll probably get a late equaliser or something if we do start with like Kraft and Lascelles in like a back three or whatever. But I'm quite
any more late equalisers, man.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But if you offer me a point, like just give it me now. Basically.
Good point.
Yeah, point away.
Right, thanks for coming on, Rohan. We'll see you
Right,
next
cheers.
week.
See you next week.
Try
lads.
and make it on time this time. You know, I mean, we do start at
apologise.
8:30. Everybody should be aware of the time. You and Caviani, bloody shocking.
At least I lasted longer than 5 minutes, I guess.
That's
so.
true. Before your broadband's been sound tonight, which makes a change.
Jeez.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. Speak next week. Take
See you
care.
later.
Good night. Mr. Sales,
Yep.
come on then.
2-0.
Another 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to score?
Bruno and Fraser.
And what gives you the confidence that we're going to get a clean sheet?
I think the lads will be up for it since they've been away. They've had more gelling time, so I think the lads will be really up for the win. They'll just go for it.
Well, I mean, they've got nothing to lose, technically, have they? So, I mean, we may as well go out and try and win the game of football at the end of the day. But it'd be nice. Right. Thanks for coming on, buddy, and we'll speak soon.
See you about that.
Take care,
Yeah,
man.
lads.
Jason?
I'm actually quite confident. I feel we will concede against Spurs, so I'm going 2-1 win.
You're going to predict Chris Wood to score, aren't you? You're going to shock us all here.
Giraffes can do much better than him.
Who's going to score?
I'm going to go Joe Linton, and I think Shelby might grab one.
Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling Shelby might be, he'll be added on Sunday, given that he's had a good rest. But take care, matey, and we'll speak to you soon, my man.
No probs. Catch you
Good
later.
night.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Ooh, I want to go 1-1. I feel like Tottenham's going to be a huge test.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll be up for it, but we will as well. So I think the goal scorer, I think I'll go Joe Linton again.
I'd love to see Joe Linton score down there. I mean, he already has scored at that ground, so maybe that'll give him a little bit of confidence. Right, thanks for coming on, Ryan, and hopefully see you again next week, matey.
See you, mate.
Yep. Take care, guys. See you
Good
later.
night, man. Who have I cut off there? Oh! Jesus Christ. Alex, Ryan pressed the button before me. Right, go on, Mr. Caviani. It is your turn.
I'll go with 2-2.
Yeah.
I can't see us keeping a clean sheet against them. But if Son plays like he did, he was shocking today. He looks like a League One player.
Right, the more you say that, the better he's going to play. You do realise that.
I know, yeah. And then
I've got
Kane
as the statman.
was
I've got to
rested.
look at this because you've said it 3 times. Is he really that bad?
Yeah,
Gonna have a
the
look.
whole team just looked. The whole team just was shocking, and they got beat off UAE as well, who didn't qualify.
United are better,
They actually made the playoffs, so they're going to play Australia. Then the winner plays.
He
South
got an
America.
8.4. He got the highest rating. He was the best player for South Korea, apparently, statistically.
Is he? Oh.
4
But getting beat
crosses,
off.
5 accurate long balls, 77 touches.
Yeah.
He won pretty much every ground drill. I mean, statistically, he looks good, but obviously, stats don't tell you everything. You have to watch the game as well. So,
Yeah, because getting beat off UAE, it's like England losing to Latvia or something. It's the same scale, but you never know. I hope he does play like he did today. Well, he
Anyway,
was actually
who's
good.
going to score for us?
Sam Maximan and me best mate Wood.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
I'm going to tell him tomorrow.
Yeah. It was always on the cards that you were going to say Wood, wasn't it? Never mind. Listen, right, thanks for coming on again, matey.
Cheers,
and
mate.
we'll see you next week, bud.
I'll take more photos tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got to tell Wood to wind up Loris as well. Wind him up about his drunk drive charge or something because he's naughty. He shouldn't be doing things like that.
And you
Because
should
Wood likes
also
to pick on people.
You have, yeah. You should get him to subscribe to Toon Review, Roy, as well. You know, just because we speak so highly of him on this channel.
Yeah. One more thing, they've got a Geordie lad who works with the New Zealand team as well,
Right.
and he's the president of the Mags in New Zealand.
Is he?
So, yeah,
Right.
it's just coincidence.
Well, push the channel out there, Roy. You know what I mean? You know.
I'll get him to watch. Don't say anything bad about Wood.
Be our Middle East spokesman, Middle East marketing manager or something like that. You know what I mean? Get going out there.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
We'll speak soon, mate.
See you, mate. See you next
Take
week.
care. Good night. So there we go. That has been the fan forum. Just to let you know of the shows coming up this week. On Thursday night at 8:30, it's 8 o'clock. We have the match preview. I believe it's the 3 of us for that one. I do believe Danielle's coming on for that one. So join us at 8 o'clock for that. And at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, of course, it is the live watch along commentary of the game from Tottenham. We start at 4 with kickoff at 4:30. And then at 8 o'clock the same night, we have the match review. So the 3 of us will be looking back at the earlier game, picking the bones out the game and seeing what went right, what went wrong. Did we play well? Did we not? And we want all your feedback, obviously, in the live comments for that as well. So 3 very, very good live shows coming up. Thank you to everybody that's watched tonight. Alex, thank you for joining us again. And thank you to the mods backstage for keeping the chat all running smoothly. And if you have enjoyed it, as usual, guys, please do hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, do consider subscribing as well. Help us push towards that 10K. And you can become a member of the Toon Review by clicking the join button underneath the video itself, or the link is pinned in the description. Thank you to the super chatters again tonight. Very, very kind. And finally, thank you to Geordie Riffs, our sponsors. Premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based here in the Northeast. Guitar repairs and servicing, of which they're offering 10% off you each of the first ones. Of course, I do have a recording studio for you as well. And you can get your first guitar lesson completely free. So give Graham and Natalie a shout at geordieriffs.co.uk, on Instagram at Geordie Riffs, or Facebook at Geordie Riffs Official. And that is it. We will be back on Thursday night with the preview of the game. So we will see you at 8 p.m. then. Keep an eye out for some recorded videos, obviously daily new videos as well from the channel. But that's it. Good night. Keep smiling. Be kind, guys. Good night.